Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why airlines are laying off crew. In this period during this COVID-19, a lot of airlines have laid off a whole lot of crew, and some are lucky that they have union and they're able to fight for not being laid off. But even what the airlines are even offering, in their minds, what they're expecting is that this crew will resign on their own. And the question is, why are airlines doing this? Why is it happening? So we're going to talk about that in this video, and I'm going to share my own opinion as to why this is happening. The first reason is, at this time, most airlines are not making profit. So many countries have closed their borders to foreigners. And because of the coronavirus, everyone is trying to be safe. And so at this point, there are no passengers, and obviously there are no flights. And these flights are the ones that pay the salaries. They are the ones that provide the lifestyle that cabin crew and pilots are used to. So right now that there are no flights, very few people are traveling. Even at a point, no one was traveling. All borders were closed. And it's just recently that some countries started opening their borders to foreigners. And even at that, the flights are not as much as it is. So right now, they are not making profit. And like I said in my previous video, the moment the airlines are not making profits, they cannot keep up with what they have written in their employment, in your employment letter, the salaries, the benefits, the allowances. They will not be able to pay for that. Your accommodation, the utilities, they will not be able to pay for it, because guess what? It is the passengers that actually pay for all this. And so if there are no flights, definitely what's going to happen is, because they will want to retain their image, they want to retain the shareholders that also own the airlines will also have to be given a certain amount of money and all that. And the moment they are unable to reach all that, the first thing they do is start to lay off staff. It's not fair, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I really feel for those who at this time lost their jobs due to this pandemic. It's very devastating, but I know how it feels. I know I have also been there, and trust me, I know how it feels. It's like as if the ground should open and swallow you. And for those new people that just got a job in their dream airline and all of a sudden they are out of it. But there's a question: the new aspirants, as those that were currently doing their training, and all of a sudden they were laid off. I'm sure a lot of them have questions that, how is this possible? How can they do it? So I've been able to answer this particular question on the fact that right now the airlines are not making profit, and an airline, first and foremost, is a business. And the moment the business is not making profit, the first thing they're going to do is lay off staff. Another reality that I found out, because this is something I saw in one of the airlines that I worked for. When the airline was going through a very difficult phase, the first thing they did was to go into the cabin crew database, and what they did was lay off crew that had one query, two query, final, as in, if you have any office issue, any issue at all in your database, they are going to lay you off. And almost like 70% of cabin crew in that airline were laid off as a result of that. So one thing I know about companies, let me not just say only airlines, because it's not only airlines that do it. What a lot of companies do, whenever they go into hard times like this, most times it's usually a very, very difficult decision. However, the first set of people that they always tend to lay off are people that have certain issues in their cabin crew database. I've seen this done, and trust me, I know it's not fair. I mean, I understand what it is, because that period when it happened, a lot of us cried for our colleagues, because it was like we woke up one morning and a lot of people just lost their jobs. As in, it was a shock. It was really a shock to us. But because we thought that we're the last department that would ever be affected by this, but where it is what it is. So, and I'm very sure it's the same thing. Some of these airlines, I know the first thing they do is lay off crew that actually have issues. Maybe if your supervisor has written something against you in your file, once you just have one negative thing in your file, they just lay you off. So times like this, airlines always, they call it like maybe a cleanup, and few months after, or maybe a few years after, they now do a fresh recruitment and get fresh people. I don't really understand why they do that. Only someone who has run an airline will be able to explain that, but it's something that I've seen done, and it's unfortunate, and it is what it is, really. Now I'm going to talk about, those people that were in training and all of a sudden they just lost their jobs, and it was like a shock to them, because imagine you telling your whole friends, your whole family that you've gotten a job in your dream airline, only for you to, be asked to leave. I mean, it's like as if it's a joke. Some people will laugh at you, those that were never happy for you and all that. But let me tell you one thing. When you get a job in an airline, you are on 6 months probation. And in my previous video where I talk about how to grow your career in an airline, you can click on the link below to watch it. I said 6 months probation means that the airlines can ask you to leave at any point in time without that's what probation means. Probation means that you are still working on an egg in the airline. So if there's anything, they are very quick to lay you off without any warning, without any nothing. They just tell you that your services are no more needed, and they just ask you to go. I know it's not fair, but life happens. I've seen this thing done, and I've seen how it is. It's very painful, really. But one thing I know is that 6 months probation, it's like you are still working on an egg shell around the airline. Your foot is not still in the airline, you are just still there. So it is when you collect your confirmation letter that, even when you collect your confirmation letter, that you start to earn the actual salary of cabin crew economy. So that's why it was so easy for them to just lay you off like that without any warning. I really, really feel for those. But one thing I'm going to tell you is that, and one thing I'm going to say is that, it's a job you lost, not the career. You can always be a cabin crew for any airline, any other airline. It doesn't just have to be that particular airline. And even if you want to still work in that airline, fantastic. Because I remember when the airline I worked for laid off a lot of crew. Like a few years after, some people still, came back, and they actually took them on the basis that you had a clean record, and you were laid off as a result of what happened. So even right now, fine, they've laid you off. You need to find a means of earning a living for now, and when things get better, you can still try again to reapply. Because this is how I look at it. You lost a job, but you didn't lose your career. You would always be a cabin crew. You've gained something, you've gained the experience, nobody can take it from you. And even if it's your first job, and this is the first airline that you're working for, it's still not over. It's not the end of anything. It's in fact, to me, I look at it as it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning of something new. One thing I believe in life is that whenever a particular door closes, another window opens. But for you to see that window, you need to start to look at things positively. You need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know it's not fair. I mean, like, some people have spent like 10 years of their lives in the airline. Some people have spent many years in the airline, and all of a sudden they just wake up in the morning, and the airline is just, like I told you, is first and foremost a business. And when these airlines are not making profit, they are very ruthless. They will just lay off people. They won't. Right? See, if you're still dwelling on the fact that they laid you off after spending so many years with them and all that, and if you're still dwelling on that, you're not doing yourself any favor. Because trust me, and let me tell you, the airline that laid you off, they've moved on. You can see that they started coming back little by little, and you are still dwelling on the fact that you were laid off. You need to move on. it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to to feel disappointed. It's okay to like, oh, I've given so much for this airline. It's I understand, but there's tomorrow, and you need to move on with your life. You need to move on. This is even an opportunity to try something different from what you've been used to. Like if you've been a commercial cabin crew, you can decide to try the corporate flight attendant world. Well, it's not like as if it's any different. In fact, I know that it's even much easier for a VVIP cabin crew to even lose his or her job faster than a commercial cabin crew, because your job is tied to the CEO of the jet, or if the client does not like you, you're out, compared to the commercial airline where there are steps, and it's only when the airline is going through a difficult phase that you see them, they just lay off crew anyhow. But normally there are steps. They will give you the first query, give you the second query, then they will give you final warning, you know. But in private jet, it's not like that. The moment a client complains about you, you're out of the company. So I don't want you to think that it's any better in corporate flights, in the corporate jets. It's not any better. There is no perfect place. The grass is not greener anywhere. The thing is, whatever you are, just make use of it and make use of your opportunity and build something on the side aside from the job. Make sure that you do not invest your whole life in just one particular job. Make sure that you also have something else on the side that you can always fall back to, because you really never know. The only thing that is constant is a company that you have created by yourself. There is no how that's why I look at it. That's why, you know, I said you lost a job, but you did not lose your career. You're a cabin crew and you can get a job in another airline when they start recruiting. That's why, you know, you need to know how to differentiate between the two. I lost a job in Emirates, but I'm still a cabin crew. I'm an experienced cabin crew. I lost a job in QATAR Airways, but I am an experienced cabin crew. Nobody can take that experience away from you. You have built that experience for yourself. You have built something for years. So don't look at it as is a waste. It's not a waste, okay? It's not a waste. What you have is very valuable. And some other airline will look at it as, oh, wow, so you've worked in ETIHAD, so you've worked in Emirates. Oh, wow, you don't know. What you have will help you in your next level. That's why I don't want you to dwell so much in the negativity. Don't dwell so much in the fact that you lost your job suddenly. Pick yourself up and start to think about your next move. If your next move is you want to go into corporate jet, why? Go for training and do what you need to do to get, or if you want to get a job in customer service somewhere different from airline, just to do something different from what you have been used to, fine. And if you are the person that maybe during your training you lost your, during the training was when they asked you to go, it's not over. These airlines are still going to recruit again. They will. I don't know how soon, but I'm very sure it's very soon, because I think there's an Expo 2021 and there are going to be so many. I'm hoping that at that time the pandemic could have calmed down and the airlines will still get back up. They are still going to recruit again. This is just a phase, but I don't want you to just stay and not do anything. At this time, try and get yourself busy. Have faith and believe that in the end, something good will come out. So I hope you've gained something in my video today. Subscribe to my channel. Make sure to like this video if this video has been of help to you. My name is Yetunde Adeyemi. Stay blessed.